welcome back to Movie Files. Elliot here with a brand new spoiler-free review for the film Godzilla, King of Monsters, directed by Michael Dougherty. Now, I am going to get into the good, the bad, and give you my score at the end of this video. But before I get to that point, I want to welcome all you that are new to Movie Files. If you haven't already, definitely do us a favor, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with our latest movie reviews, trailer reactions, TV breakdowns, unboxing videos, and giveaways. So definitely subscribe to our channel. And then also, if you have seen Godzilla, King of Monsters, or when you eventually see it, let me know your comments below. Let me know if you enjoyed the film, if you didn't enjoy the film, and ultimately, what is your score of this film? Let me know in the comments. But with that being said, let's jump into this review. Alrighty, so as I do with all my reviews, I gotta start off with the positive. But before I get into all the details of my review of the film, I want to kind of let you all know what my anticipation level was for this film. So this was one of my most anticipated films of 2019. It didn't necessarily make my top 5, but it was definitely in my top 10. As a fan of Godzilla kind of growing up, yeah, there were some movies I missed in the 50s and 60s, but I had, my fair share of Godzilla films, but in particular going into the 2014 version, I was a fan of that version. There were some things I didn't really like, mostly the human elements of it, but I am a fan of kind of the approach that Gareth Edwards took in regard to the Jaws approach, right? I mean, even to the little details of the family that we follow in the film, being named the Brody family. So I kind of like that he kind of had, he showed Godzilla in monitor screens, and we saw him obviously at the end of the film, but I kind of like that approach. Kong Skull Island, I like the visuals, I like the action, but the character, again, it's just, and this is what I'm getting at with my review. When you guys know when I get into this, I don't go to these films for the characters. If you're going to give me characters, sure, give me interesting characters, give me someone I can connect to, give me some characters that maybe I feel bad when there are certain situations, but I'm not going to Godzilla to see characters. I'm going to Godzilla to see the kaiju fighting. In this film, if you're a Godzilla film, if you're a monster fan, a monster movie fan, this is top level A+ when it comes to visual design, sound design, score for the film. The creature design of Godzilla, they obviously take elements from the 2014 and just expand upon that, which is another thing. Michael Dougherty and crew really did a great job of diving into the mythology of Godzilla and really paying homage to the other, not only the 2014 version, which I was kind of surprised, but they really kind of leaned into 2014, not giving too much away, but there were repercussions of what happened 5 years ago since that movie happened. I kind of like that they touched on that, but also they touch on other Godzilla films in the sense of paying homage and adding lore and adding some depth to just the character Godzilla and the other creatures around Godzilla. So from Ghidorah and Mothra and Rodan, and I mean, the design of these characters are absolutely gorgeous. I mean, the trailer is as advertised. This is a kaiju battle fight, and when we get those fights sprinkled in with the human elements, it was just so much fun. Again, I pay so much, I want to give so much respect to Michael Dougherty and crew, what they did with the visual effects. This is literally, there's so many frames in this movie that you can take a picture of and just frame it on your wall. It's just so beautifully done. Get into some of the actual human elements of the story, which I'll get into my negatives more so. But, for the most part, these characters were serviceable. With the 2014, again, I did not really, this might sound harsh, but I could care less about the family, the Brody family that we got in 2014 version, as well as Kong Skull Island. Probably the only character I've liked so far in those two films alone has been Sam Jackson, because at least he had sort of a motive and had a motivation of why he wanted to kill Godzilla, because he took out kill King Kong because he took out his crew. But with this film, Millie Bobby Brown, fan of, love her in Stranger Things. She was fine. Vera Farmiga, I'm a big fan of her. I thought she was fine. I mean, there's so many good. Kyle Chandler, the cast is great, and for the most part, they do the best that they can with the script and do the best they can with the characters. But I wasn't really necessarily in the movie for that. And what I got out of this film, walking out of the theater, I walked out happy because I got what I wanted, which was monsters fighting each other, and that's what you go to a Godzilla film for. This is a summer blockbuster, popcorn, drink on your side, and just drink it all in, eat it all up, and just enjoy what's on the screen. But, getting into the negatives, the script is fine. It's not great. I'm not going to lie. The elements that they kind of bring in, I think they kind of touch on, and I don't want to give too much away because it's a spoiler-free review, but, the elements of Farmiga's character and her motives and Kyle Chandler, a lot of that stuff is just like, okay, that's cool. Okay, they need to go there. Oh, how did Millie Bobby Brown get this to get there? How did she get all that stuff is like minor little stuff, but the biggest thing for me as far as, negatives was there were a little bit of pacing issues. It took about 40, 50 minutes to kind of really dive deeper into the story. And again, going back into the characters, you know, again, I'm not going to this film with the characters, but if I'm going to criticize it, there wasn't that much motivation for me for the characters and rooting for them, because they really kind of thrown in these different elements. There's the army characters, there's the family element, and then some other characters that I don't really want to dive deep into that was just kind of lackluster. There was lack of character development. I'll just put it that way. But, you know, wrapping up this review, again, I went to this film looking for a kaiju monster spectacle, visual spectacle, and Mike Dougherty and crew delivered that. Again, I can't stress it enough. If you're a Godzilla fan, I think you're going to absolutely love this film from a monster kaiju fighting standpoint. A soundtrack, the score in this film is amazing. There's a lot of nods to older Godzilla films, which I appreciate. Again, they build on the mythology and add more to it. I won't dive too deep into the last act, but good gosh, was that beautiful. And just the stuff that we get with Godzilla is amazing. All in all, I'm going to give this film, I'm going to give it a 4.5. I'm sorry, I said this last time in the last review. I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. Again, if you're looking for a summer fun blockbuster film, especially coming off of the spectacle that we got last month with Endgame, I think this is an Endgame, but in its own right, for a Godzilla true fans, this is their Endgame. And like I said, I'm not a diehard Godzilla fan, but I appreciate these kaiju films and monster films. So for that, I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. There are some negatives. This isn't a perfect film. From a script perspective, character development, all that stuff is kind of lacking, but everything else is just so superior to the negative. So 4 out of 5. Check it out when it comes out. Again, if you saw it already, let me know what you thought of the film. I really enjoyed it, so much so that I did the 2014 and the Kong Skull Island. This is probably one of my favorites Godzilla films made in the history, at least the ones I've seen. Again, I haven't seen them all, but the ones I've seen, definitely up there for me as far as top notch. Go check it out, and when you do, let me know what you thought of it. There you have it. That's my review. Go check out Godzilla King of Monsters when you get the chance to, and when you do, let me know what you thought of the film. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Follow us on all of our social media accounts, especially on Instagram, because we're very active on Instagram. We go live every single Thursday to talk about movies and TV and trailers and all that fun stuff, so definitely subscribe to our channel. Follow us on social media, and we will see you all on the next review.